So you already know why you clicked here. The Brawl Talk is tomorrow and I'm not excited. Why am I not excited? We have a few reasons for that. Starting with the first one, the addition of Ultra Legendary Brawler. This is no surprise to anyone because, well, it's been 2 months and still a majority of players have not been able to unlock their Brawler. And it is pretty ironic that for something that is hyped up for so long and a lot of people didn't even get to enjoy it. So the problem was that there were too many brawlers in just two different rarities, that is mythic rarity and the legendary rarity. The problem with these rarities is that first of all they're very hard to unlock, and because there were too many brawlers in that particular rarity, now you would think that a solution to such a problem would be to maybe add a different rarity between mythic or legendary, or maybe between epic and mythic, which would be even better. What did Supercell go with? Ultra legendary, or rarity above legendary, so that now you would have to wait even longer to unlock your brawler. Now, I personally do not have any problems with unlocking a brawler with a slightly longer rate, but the problem starts when the brawler is so hard to unlock that you wouldn't even be able to unlock it during the whole season when it is supposed to be. So, for example, right now we talk about Kaze. The problem is that not a lot of people have been able to enjoy it. That brawler has been so hard to unlock that more than 90% of players, including me, have not been able to unlock that brawler and now not been able to even, and most of us don't even know how that brawler even works because we do not have a proper hand-on experience with it. We also have the early access opportunities where you can pay in real money and you can unlock the brawler. But the problem is that this time even the offer wasn't even a proper offer to begin with. It was 60 euros, $60 or whatever your currency would be in. So much currency that you could buy a whole new AAA game with it. Currently, brawlers are the most anticipated part of any Brawl Stars update. So with the addition of an ultra legendary brawler, the feat of unlocking that brawler regresses by a whole month, which means that you would only be able to experience that brawler after 1 month of the hype, by that time which it would be already dead. The second reason is the Wasabi Event. Now, let me be clear that the event was awesome. It had great features, it had amazing set of skins which were also very much unlockable. You did not have to pay a single dime for it. Besides that, we also had different milestones like 1000 credits and getting a hypercharged skin, and also even a 300 gem skin, which was awesome. Getting all of them for free by just completing the milestone of 200 sushi. The problem is that anybody who was remotely a free-to-play player or even a casual player for that matter would not be able to reach the 200 sushi goal in the required time. The problem was so bad that the developer team had to extend the last few days of the sushi contest just so that the last bunch of hardcore players who were really working hard to get those sushis were able to get it. The thing is, most of the sushis were given away during the final week, because of which a lot of players had the false assumption that they would not be able to complete the event. There would be times when a player would only be able to unlock maybe 3 or 4 sushis per day. Now again, let me rephrase that. Just because of that does not mean that the event was bad. The event was good. But the way that it was managed was bad. Which leads me to the next one, which is the removal of Masteries. Something really good about Masteries was that you were able to stack those resources and then use them whenever you wanted to unlock or upgrade your brawlers. For example, whenever I would unlock a new brawler, maybe I could just go through a bunch of Masteries that I had already done, and then I would be able to use that resource to unlock and maybe even max out my newest unlocked brawler. That is not going to be the case anymore with achievements because most of them are going to be cosmetics. And the problem doesn't exactly stop there either, because even through achievements, you are only going to unlock cosmetics such as titles and maybe battle cards, but the problem is you don't get enough time to showcase those accessories. For example, you invest in a skin, that skin shows up throughout the game. Everybody is able to see it. You could use their pins too. But the titles and the battle cards, they don't show up. And because of that, a lot of the times you miss out onto showing off those really hard-earned achievements that you've done. But the most important reason why I am not excited about this latest Brawl Talk is because nothing is permanent. Speaking as someone who has played this game since the very beginning, that is the global launch, I have seen changes in the trophy road, economy, boxes getting removed, then them being added again in the form of star drops, and then everything else turning into star drops, multiple changes to club league, multiple changes to power league, which you now call ranked. In fact, so much more that I could make a new video on it. The problem is that whatever you think is going to be the most important thing right now might not be so eventually. For example, let's take gold. During the time when brawl boxes were the only source of income and you only had power 9 as a maximum level, gold was pretty much useless when you were maxed out. I even was able to buy a skin with that gold. But as soon as power 10 and power 11 came up, everything became exponentially more expensive, and right now at this point, gold is so valuable that even maxed out players are not willing to use it onto their skins. Now, what would I do next in this particular situation? We have a bunch of problems. Supercell comes up and gives a solution, but that solution creates new problems. So we have to be careful about that. We have to think like how Supercell does. And no offense to them, they might be thinking outside the box, they might be thinking in a way we don't. But the problem is that there is a gap between that, and we need to close that gap. Until we close that gap, I cannot be hyped for a new update. What I will also try to do is try to see things in a more reasonable manner. When you get hyped up for something new for so long, you could get worked up with so many emotions, and when things don't turn out the way you want them to, things will obviously fall apart and you would not enjoy them. And so my decision is to keep a little distance from Supercell and maybe Brawl Stars, the whole Brawl Talk. Sure, I will watch the Brawl Talk, but at the same time, I will try to keep my emotions a bit level. Now, I'm not trying to make this video out of bad will. It takes a lot of effort to be able to make a video like this and even start a channel just basically Brawl Stars. I do not want Brawl Stars to fail. In fact, I want it to become better and flourish. And that is why I believe that the developers can do a really good job at it. I think there is some gap which hasn't been filled yet, and that is the reason why the community feels so detached from what the developers are trying to do. So that was it all for today. I hope you did enjoy my video. This is the first time I'm showing up my face, and I do hope you enjoy my opinions, my essays, my tier lists, and many more coming in this channel, and I hope to see you again.